So hello everyone, today we are going to study about what is refraction and about its laws and glass slab in this particular video. So what is refraction? Refraction is when the ray passes from one medium. This is very important to understand, one medium to another medium. Right, whenever a ray passes from one medium to another medium by striking a refracting surface, this is called refraction. Right, this is called refraction. Rays is passing from one medium to another medium, and while passing, now two things happens. What are these two things? The first thing is there is a change in angle, and the second thing is there is change in speed. Speed of what? Speed of light. Whenever a ray is passing from one medium to another medium. Right? In the case of reflection, what happens? Ray is passing from one medium and it is going back into the same medium. But in the case of refraction, it is passing from one medium to another medium, and while passing, two things are taking place. There is a change in angle and there is change in speed of light. So let us assume what the question is. Suppose this is a refracting object, right? This is a glass and this is a refracting object, and this is normal. So an incident ray of light is striking to it. So while striking to it, it is making an angle with the normal. It is called angle of incidence. Right? It is angle of incidence. And now what will happen? We'll discuss about this thing, but the angle will be changed. With the same angle, it will not go to the second medium. This is your first medium, this is your second medium. In the case of reflection, it bounces back. But in the case of refraction, it will not bounce back. The light will go into the another medium. Right? And while going to another medium, there will be two things. There will be change in angle and there is change in speed. How this angle is changed, how this speed is changed, we'll discuss about it. But this will be changed. So this is how we can assume this. Like the angle, this is angle of refraction, this is angle of reflection, and now we can assume this line is not going straight, right? This ray is not going straight, it is getting deviated at some angle, and there is a change in speed. This is what about refraction. When the ray of light passes from one medium to another medium, there is a change in angle and there is a change in speed. This is what is refraction. Now we shall be discussing on what factors these two things, that is change in speed and change in angle depends. Right, we'll discuss these two things. Actually, these two things could be understood by a thing that is called density, or better that is optical density. What it is? Whenever a ray is passing from one medium, from medium 1 to medium 2, right? So what is happening over there? There is a change in speed. There will be a change in speed because of their densities. So the point where the density is less. So where density is less, speed will always be more. Speed of light will always be more. And where density is more, their speed of light will always be less. Right? We have to understand this thing. जहाँ पर जिस मीडियम में डेंसिटी ज़्यादा होगी, वहाँ पे स्पीड ऑफ लाइट हरदम कम होगी, और जहाँ पर डेंसिटी कम होगी वहाँ पर स्पीड ऑफ लाइट हरदम ज़्यादा होगी. और ऐसे मीडियम्स को हम क्या कहते हैं? वेयर डेंसिटी इज लेस, वी कॉल इट रेयरर मीडियम, राइट? एंड वेयर डेंसिटी इज मोर, दिस इज कॉल्ड डेंसर मीडियम, right? So we can understand now, when the light is passing from rarer to denser medium, then what happens when the light is passing from rarer to denser medium? So we'll understand one thing. There will be, as we know, in the rarer medium speed is more, and in the denser medium speed is less. So speed will be decreased. right? This is the first thing we have to understand. When the light is passing from rarer to denser medium, then speed will be decreased, and vice versa. So vice versa means when the light is going from denser to rarer medium, speed will be increased. Yes, we have to understand this thing. Speed will be increased. This is about speed, right? Now the another thing is, one thing is there is change in speed, and the second thing is there is change in angle also. There is change in angle. So whenever we are talking about the rarer mediums, when the light is in rarer medium, means the angle is more. The angle is always more, and when the light is in denser medium, the angle is always less. We are always talking about in comparison, right? If we talk about this particular case, when the light is going from rarer to denser medium, it means that the angle in rarer is always more. The angle is always more, and in the case of denser, the angle is always less. So what does it means? When the light is going from rarer to denser medium, the angle will be less. Angle will be less. Angle will be less. Or we can say that the refracted ray will bend towards the normal. Right. So this is very important point to understand, that whenever a ray is passing from rarer to denser medium, there will be decrease in speed and their angle will be less. So what does that mean? It will bend towards the normal. We can understand this thing. Over here. Suppose this is a refracting surface, and this is normal along it, and this is your rarer medium, and this is your denser medium. So whenever a light ray is coming from rarer medium to denser medium, it will bend. This is normal, it will bend towards the normal. Yes. So this is your angle of refraction, and this is your angle of incidence. So angle of incidence will always be greater than angle of refraction, right? This is and vice versa. Similarly, vice versa. If we talk about denser to rarer medium, if a ray of light is going from denser to rarer medium, their angle will be increased. Just look at this case. If this is denser medium and this is rarer medium, light is going from denser to rarer, right? This is your incident ray, and it is going to rarer. It will bend away from normal. So angle I is less than angle of refraction. So this is to be understood in the case of optical density. So now we understood this thing. That in the case of refraction, light passes from one medium to another medium, and while passing there is two changes happening there. When one is speed of light is changing, and another thing is their angle is changing. When the light is going from rarer to denser medium, their speed of light is decreased and their angle is also decreased, means it's bent towards the normal. And when it is going from denser to rarer medium, it means their speed of light is increased and their angle is also increased. Now a question comes, how would we able to know where the speed of light is less or where it is more? So it will be signified you in the question, like they will be giving you the question, light is going from air to water, right? And they are saying that in air the speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to the power 8, and in the water it is 2 into 10 raised to the power 8, right? So explain which is rarer and which is denser medium, and in where the angle is more and where the angle is less, right? And in where the speed is, so you can understand here the speed of light is more, here speed of light is less. So while going from, it means that it is rarer medium, it is denser medium. So light is going from rarer to denser medium. So we can understand the light now will bend towards the normal. Yes, this is how the question will come. Now the two laws of refractions are, The very first one is that incident ray. This is your incident ray, and this is your normal, and refracted, not reflected but refracted ray. All lie in the same plane. All lie in the same plane. Yes. And the second law is, that is Snell's law, and we will cover this law nicely while studying refractive index, right? This is what sin I by sin R is equal to mu, and this mu is what? This mu is what? Refractive index. So we'll cover it while studying the refractive index. Now we are going to study a very important topic which is extremely hot spot for board point of view, that is refraction through glass slab. Right. So in this particular glass slab, first I will draw the diagram of glass slab. So this is how, in the case of a diagram of glass slab, right, this is your glass, so this is air, this is one medium, this is glass, and again it is air, right? So light is coming from air, going to glass and coming back to the air, and we can assume, we are given that this is rarer medium, this is denser medium, and this is again rarer medium. So light is going from rarer to denser and then denser to rarer. Now we have to understand one thing, that when the light is going from rarer to denser, it means that according to the rule we have just studied, when it is going from rarer to denser, then their angle will be decreased and speed will be always decreased. When it is going from denser to rarer, then angle will be increased, they will bend away from normal, and their speed will also be increased. So I am drawing a normal, and this is your incident ray striking along the normal, making angle of incidence, right? So now it is going from denser medium. When the light is going to denser medium, it will bend towards the normal, so we can understand its angle is decreased. So this is your angle of refraction, right? Now the ray of light is going to the second interface. While going to the second interface, this is your, again it will strike again along the normal and making an angle. This is angle of incidence, again angle of, so I will just put angle I dash, right? And now we will observe one thing, that it is going from denser to rarer medium, so it will again bend away from normal, away, right, like this. This is your normal, it is bending away from normal, and this is angle R dash, right? Now we'll see one thing, right? If we extend this incident ray, then we are seeing that both the rays are parallel. And we know that on parallel rays the angles are equal. So we can say that angle I is equal to angle R dash. And this angle R dash, this is incident ray, this is angle of incidence, this is angle of refraction, this is again angle of incidence, but this angle of refraction is also called angle of emergence. This is also called angle of emergence. So now we can understand this, the angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. Now the gap between these two rays, is called lateral displacement. What we call it? Lateral displacement. So hence this is completed now. It is very important diagram, so we have to understand it. Thank you very much. In next class we'll be doing further topic, refractive index.